It's the Hebrew Homestead Update. And this is a walkthrough of the current situation, including a magnificent cup of coffee with coconut oil in it. You cannot deny the throne of porcelain after you drink a couple cups of that. It's greatness. This is the original nursery area, but it's been taken over. The greenhouse is empty. It means all the stuff in the greenhouse is out. I don't have ventilation, so it's too hot in here. We're gonna put some permanent sidewalls on there. It's the dog food. We're gonna refresh the mulch on most of the trees. We got plums on the plum trees. We're fighting the ants. And we've got peaches on the peach tree. Been giving them away. I ate a few of them. They're delicious. Got a new bed of echinacea. The start of apothecary parts of the gardens. And here for this year, echinacea, you got at least 2 years. It's a permanent, actually. This is a permanent echinacea bed, but in here, with the echinacea, you got some cucumbers. And we strung them up to run on that. There's PVC out there. PVC pipe with rebarb. PVC and rebarb is my new favorite thing for temporary structures and even overwinter greenhousing. PVC and rebar. You can bend the PVC to make any shape you want, and you can attach PVC permanently like that, and then you can move it around and stick rebar in the ground, and you pull your rebar out the ground. It's not a lot of damage. It'll stand and hold. And I think that system might work for me. New system I'm trying with the citrus is rows, and then in the wintertime I'll put PVC and the rebar over them with a barrel of water to keep them warm. I found some loquats. This is a new loquat. We'll see if she make it. And there go my leftover tomatoes. Another row of citrus, 3. I'm gonna do at least rows of 3 wherever I do them, so I can cover them with 1 or 2 hoops, or 1 to 3 hoops. Here's another. This is cayenne pepper and sage in this bed. This bed's been here for a while, and again, I got some cucumbers. I'm hoping to get them to run up this string and take over this trellis. I tied them up with the, just looping it around the string. I forget what they call that, some kind of California thing. I just got me some, I finally found some jujubes and put them in the ground. Because the best place for a plant is in the ground. Because in the pots, you gotta work real hard to keep them. And here's my apricot set. This one's, these were put in the winter, and this one's put in this spring. And they all look pretty happy, doing well. The second nectarine's doing just fine, and this nectarine, Lakia's tree, has fruit on it. It's got nectarine on it. This is first year's fruit set, so they might be small. I don't know how big these nectarines are going to be, but the first year set, like it kind of overdoes it the first year. Oh, I noticed that with this peach tree, overdoes it the first year, and the second year you got to take some loose. The first year I took probably about a third of these off, and probably taking off some more, and this it's tied up because the branch was falling on the ground. So it'll look struggly when it first put on fruit. It looked like it's stressing. I've noticed the first year, but the second year do better. But this first year, the fruit might not be that great. It might be even small, and it might do too much the first year. That's what I've noticed. You go 2 figs back here, and again, they're remulched. The Chicago, and this one is LSU purple. There goes the lime tree that survived. It's doing all right, so might set fruit one of these years. It might have to wait until I'm gonna let it grow up so it can reach the sun. These 2 mulberry trees kind of block it, but it's been surviving. It's been there since my other bitter lime. And here I put there's another permanent bed of herbs. I planted some holy basil, some Hopi tobacco in here, some milk thistle, and some calendula. There goes Lakia's aloe vera in the coffee cup. Here goes some bilberry seeds. We'll see if we can get them to sprout. The bilberry bush is something like a blueberry bush, but it's supposed to be medicine for the eyes. Yeah, bilberry helps the eyes. I think it was used in World War II to help fighter pilots see at night. And here's some more Hopi tobacco bilberries. Locust beans I found I got from the side of the road, and some more loquat seeds that I put in there, and I'm hoping that I can get them to sprout. So anything you see on the ground, I'm trying to get it to sprout. I got to sprinkle on it every day. Let's keep going, make this not a long video. Here I'm hoping to get started and make a permanent site. Some moringa is what I'm finna get in here and get sprouted. They've been soaking overnight. I got a small delivery of some pots, which I can appreciate. And I can appreciate the greenhouse because now I'm actually using it. Let's walk around here, the front. When I walk through, here we go. Lots of peaches. People see that and they stop by and they be like, "Oh, let me get some." I say, "You sure can." Yeah, that's a sight to see. The ant war is going on. I've been warring with these ants for all days and forever. It's a war you'll never win, but you got to battle with the ants. Because ants love to farm, I forget what, aphids and mealybugs. They farm mealybugs in that tree, and the mealybugs sap drops all down here, and it makes everything black about the end of the summer. Some sticky goo. Same with aphids. Their excrement is a sweet, sticky goo, and they farm them. And they'll put, this is a bunch of aphids here, they'll put them on the new growth. And if it get out of hand, a young tree, they could almost kill or hinder. It'll start, you can tell when you got the ants, the tree start looking sorry. So you got to put some, you got to try and kill the colony, knock them back. You'll never get rid of all ants, but you can knock back the colony and give you a chance, plants a chance. Then you spray. I spray with some neem oil and stuff. Help knock off some of these neem. If it gets too bad, these mealybugs, I'll take a wet rag and wipe them off. Or even cut the tip if it's too bad, because they drink the sap off the new growth, and they'll stunt the growth of a plant. You gotta knock them back. This is a Celeste fig, and it's doing okay. It almost didn't make it last summer. It was hot. That it makes extra water. Here's a new. This is a new addition. This is the brown turkey. That's a new brown turkey. I brought that. It was big in a pot. That's the most delicious fig I've had personally, but I haven't tasted a lot of figs. I covered this one up this winter. This is blood orange. I'm working on my permanent markings here with the etch. I forget what it's called, the little thing, the buzz cuttings into the metal. And I welded these little plates on some rebar, and I can, if I etch it on there, even if it get rusty, I can see still it says blood orange. So that won't go nowhere. That way I won't lose what kind of plants it is. I have generic plants, I'll just say orange and won't know what it is. Here goes a strawberry tree. This is a new addition. We'll see what that tastes like. I heard it tastes some medium tasting fruit, but I'm intrigued by this plant. And I'm hoping to get the che tree, which is a delicious fruit I've heard, but it's something I've never tasted. It looks like, to me, like the tree on the Captain Crunch berry bunch box. That's what I think it looks like. I think that's where they got the tree from. This is my Cadota fig. Lots of figs on the new growth. And this is, I gotta monitor, put this one on, this pink Palomo. And I'm gonna see if I can get this one to make it through a few winters. I'm learning with the citrus, you gotta cover them up at least the first 3 winters, even if they cold hardy. And if they're not cold hardy, you usually gotta cover them up in the winter if you wanna keep them. So that's why I'm excited about the rebar and PVC, because that is the easiest and simplest way to throw up a quick tent with a barrel of water, and you don't need no electricity. It's just the sun will heat up the water in the day, and the barrel will emanate at night, and I think that's enough to keep it. If it's not, you're just gonna lose the plant. But I can't have electricity everywhere I put these trees, so that's my new system. We'll see how it works. I did it last winter with these 2 citrus. This barrel is still here from that citrus, and I think I sold that one to somebody, but it was a barrel there. But barrels, no, whether it's plastic or metal, don't matter. Just a barrel of water per 1 to 3 trees will probably do it. Here goes some more jujubes and my delicious turkey fig. More peaches. This was a cutting from clearing the muscadine. So I'm going to add all these grapes on the trellis with a cable around the outside of this soon-to-be. This will be a greenhouse. Here's more nursery plants, cuttings from this winter. Some of them I waited. I got good rooting on a lot of them, but I think I waited too long to repot them. Some of them survived though, but not all of them. But this is way more survival rate than I had any other time. There's another loquat, remember apple. This is my apple, little apple orchard. It's about 6 apple trees in here. Black Arkansas, Gala, Pink Lady, I had 2 apples this spring, which is the first set of fruit. And one of them hung on. That's the Black Arkansas. We'll see if it makes it. These 2 loquats, it was 3 of them in one pot. Try to split them up. We'll see if they survive. I hope I don't lose them all. But one of them I put in the ground. Other 2 I put in the pot. It's my first try at splitting them. And here's all my cuttings from pruning. That's what all of these are. And anything I started from seed, there goes some more leftover tomatoes. And let's carry on. Here's the bitter lemon tree. Got lots of lemons on there. And let me show you this. These seedlings from the bitter lemon. These little guys are seedlings from the bitter lemon. See if we can get them to turn into trees, and they'll be great root stock. Some more thyme, and that's thyme there, and that's some more sage. But this makes great root stock, and maybe I can start grafting trees. Here left over with here goes more seedlings from the bitter lemon. And this is my first attempt at doing some greenhouse kind of stuff. I think I got about at least 8 apricot seedlings. We'll see how they do. Right now they're about a foot tall, and they're starting to look like trees. They're doing pretty good. And these I started from seed. I started with 12. I got 8 left. And they're starting to look like a tree. I read that the apricots will put on fruit at least the 3rd year, which is pretty fast. Pretty amazing. 3rd year from seed. I don't know about the 2nd year, but I think the 3rd year. 2nd or 3rd year, they put on fruit. I'm thinking 3rd at the rate they're growing. So I'm going to put those in the ground next spring. If I got to get water out on the 5 acres. I got to find a place for these olive trees. I don't know where I'm going to put them. And along the greenhouse here, I added 3 blueberries, because that blueberry is doing good. So we have blueberries on this side of the greenhouse, because this is going to be a greenhouse. Just got to put some boards on the bottom and plastic on the top and the roof. And then we're going to have grape trellis and on. I'm going to put some bolts in there and some wire, and we'll have grapes around the greenhouse. We almost there. There's Miss Evie behaving like she got some sense. Here's a Japanese plum. No, it's a pear. It's a Shinko, Japanese Shinko pear. So we'll see if it's making it. It looks a little distressed. I try to keep the ants off of it because, you know, and keep this stuff like this kudzu off of it. There we go. But this is first year. I put this in the fall. We'll see if it makes it. It's a Shinko pear. Another peach tree. I haven't lost this one yet. I got to mark this one because I think this is Sam Houston. That's what this is. And I got to mark this one soon because I don't want to lose it. But this one's growing, letting it grow tall so it can reach the sun. I don't want it to get too tall, but ain't no lines back here. And once it's gonna hit the sun. It's gonna get the sun when it gets up. It's got up over the tiny house. But I might let this one grow. Volunteer winter squash. Another pear tree. I got some kind of rust on them this year. From what I read, you know, they'll live through it. It's the stuff kind of spores come through the air. Nothing you can do about it. Another, it's the Cadota. Got a lot of fruit on it. Fig tree. And a pomegranate. I got this pomegranate, 2 more friends in the middle of the apple orchard. So hopefully, because this one only been giving me 1 or 2 fruit. I need some cross pollinators. Another pair. This is the wrong pair, because this ain't, I don't think this is gonna give me no fruit. I think I got the wrong one. You gotta get the one that's got the right chill hours for your climate. I think that one's supposed to be further up north. I haven't got fruit from it yet. It should be in fruit by now. Because I put that one in the next to it and then put on some fruit. So this fig tree was here when I got here. And this is the most braver crop I've seen ever. It had at least 40 or 50 figs on there. We'll see what they taste like when they get ripe. They're still pretty hard and green. I'm not sure what kind of fig this is. It was here when I got here. But it's got the braver on, and now you see it's putting on a new crop. So the braver is the first crop, and it grows on the old growth. So this one must be doing pretty good. I've been weeding around it and feeding it a little bit. I accidentally cut this one down and it's coming back. I planted this one here. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if I planted that one. I might have planted that one too. I'm not sure. But I know I planted this one. This one was here, and I cut it down before I knew what a fig tree was, and I was just back here cutting stuff. And I realized when it was starting to grow back, and I actually brought a couple of fig trees that I cut down the fig tree. One of the dumbest things I've done. This is the old, if you get any increment of how big it was, this is the old, it was at least as big as this thing, probably bigger. And I had my son cut it down about 6 years ago, maybe 5. Gotta learn. These are some, the hummingbirds like these. This is a, I forget what it's called, but it's got a little bitty apple on it. And the hummingbirds like these. I seen it's one up front. I seen they always come by and look at me and go to that bush, so I put one back here with the seeds from the little apple. It's related to the rose in the apple tree, but I forget what kind of apple it's called. I'll remember it when I'm not thinking about it. But it's some kind of small apple. It's like a bush. They edible, and they actually taste pretty good. They're delicious. But the hummingbirds love these. That's why I put another one back here from the seed. I took the seed and put them back there, and that's sprouted up. And I leave it alone, let it grow. This is another fig tree that I put back here. It's got a few first crop on it, but it's gonna have some new growth. And it's reaching for the sun. Some of these back here, I'll let them reach a little bit because it's a little shady back here. Big Blue, it's got a big flat tire. And now I gotta learn how to take this tire off. I've done it with old tire, but I tried some fixed flat, didn't work. I'm gonna take it off and do some real farm shit. That's what happens. I'm gonna do that soon. And finally, back here with the brick chicken coop, we're about 4 or 5 feet, depending on if you stand on the inside or the outside, tall. I got to get it up to 8 feet, and I'm to the point where I might have to get into a little bit of scaffolding to finish it. See my crooked wall? Thankfully, I'm gonna put concrete in there as opposed to beam. But this is my first brick laying expose, and I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good for a chicken coop. But this is because of the dogs. This will be even bear proof. I don't think a bear, wolf, or anything can get in here. Moose, hyena, nothing's getting in here. This is gonna be the brick chick coop, and it'll be dog proof And then I'm gonna put up some electrical fencing around some of the perimeter. But if they get in, they ain't getting in here. That's for sure. Because I'd had a group of dog come through here and systematically wipe out all my chickens. Like a 2-3 month time, like every 2 weeks. It's very disturbing. And you can shoot a dog, but you can't kill all of them. So you got to build some stuff that's dog proof. I'm pretty sure the deer are back here. I see stuff like this, broken branches. And this is another plum tree. I think they nibble on they tend to nibble on the bark. Deer are somewhat like goats, and they'll destroy trees. I probably need to put something down to keep them away. It's probably where the electric fence gonna come in at. I might have to put in up a deer fence to keep them out of here. Because they're always in this little area, which is not my property. It's about 3 or 4 of them. I've seen 3 of them. They're always looking at me. They'll be there if I'm ever going hungry. And here goes my other fig that I'm letting grow into a tree. And got to keep these off. All of these. If you don't want it to be a bush, you got to not let these. I forget what you call these. The ones that sprout out the ground. And not let them grow. I forget what they call them. They grow from the root and they take a lot of energy from the tree. You got to keep them off of there and let it develop into a tree. And I've learned with the figs, it'll turn into a bush if you let it, but you get more fruit and it's a better plant if you let it be a tree. Meaning have one stalk out the ground. They'll bush out because they grow a lot of suckers. So you prune back the suckers and let it be a tree like this one. I just made this one a tree. How did this get in here? Okay. I made this a tree. I'm gonna have to cut this back some more. That's digging in already. I made this one a tree. That's a deer chewing on the tree there. I covered that up with some paint. But I made this one into a tree this winter. And the same with that one. That one had 2 or 3 things out of it. And that one, because the one I got in the front, that's kind of 2 trees. I think this is kind of on the same trunk, but they far enough away from each other. I let those be. But the one in the front that I let go from a tree from the start outdo these, and these have been here for a while. And it's in full sun. But if you let it be a tree instead of a bush, I think you get more fruit from what I've seen with the fig tree. Same with the pomegranate. It wants to be a bush. It technically kind of is a bush, but you don't want to let it get too many suckers. The suckers, they be competing for the resources. You want one stalk, like this one here. It's got one stalk. Like I'll come along and cut all these in the winter, these suckers, and let it be one stalk and grow into a stronger tree, and you'll have more fruit. And that's it. That's the miscellaneous tub. I use that from time to time, move it around. It's great for an ice bath. That's some more burn pile. And that is it. That's the walk around. That's all for the Hebrew homestead update. After we finish the chicken coop, we'll get back to this 10 by 20. I have to pull up this floor because I let it sit out in the weather, and that's the wrong material. I'll never do that again. I'll always use plywood and never use particle board ever again in my life, because there was particle board on that and the dogs chewed right through it. So the last part of the update is this chicken coop. This kind of a rebuild. This coop is just 4 posts in the ground and structure. And I cut this wall out of here, and I put this, make this door. Look at that. Put this door here. And these guys are not used to, they've been inside all this time where I have to fix this. I'm trying to get them to go out into the run. These were really pretty birds, the color they are, but they just got out here last week, so let's see if I can get them to, trying to encourage them to come outside, and it's not working. They've been traumatized, but we'll get them going. But this, I'm believing, is dog proof. This is goat wire. I got it reinforced on the lower part. These are just decking boards. You can use 4x4s. These are yard posts, the same as a 4x4. And I got them in the ground with a little, it's about a foot in the ground with the concrete. Maybe a foot, or I don't think it's 2 feet. Maybe 1.5 feet in the ground with concrete. We don't have but a foot of frost here. We don't really have a frost line here. But that's just concrete poured around this. Some people don't like that, but this is chicken coop. I made a mistake with this. This is kind of built from the hip. And I didn't let the concrete cure, so I put a curb here, which worked out because that gave me a surface to make the door. So this is probably the hardest part, putting the door on the run, because the door stands independently and it's got to hold itself up as a door. The same thing with a greenhouse. But I figured out that that's just concrete curb, and it's got them posts, concrete posts in the bottom underneath that, and I poured that curb on top of that. And this is goat fencing with the horseshoe clips. I haven't seen a dog defeat this. And this is, again, this is just decking. This is a old-fashioned burn door, just made with nails and decking. And I covered up all of the openings on the top with either wood or so raccoons can't get in. And then just got regular, it's just regular, this all, I made all of this by hand. It's just regular hinges, and you can see the burn yard style. Let me get back so you can see the little Z. That's the reinforcement. This is just decking, so it's not very expensive. I think with all of this refurbishing, I might have got into close to $1,000 worth of materials. This is just 2 pieces of 12-foot metal roofing. I think this is about 12 by 4 feet. The run. And the idea behind that is if something does get inside of here, it won't have an easy time to climb up the. A dog can jump, but it's gonna have that's gonna be a very agile dog. Maybe a fox can get up there, but a dog will have a hard time climbing up that. So It's like a chicken only stair. They can fly up from there and hop in. But a dog will have a hard time getting up there. So that's the idea behind that. Why I don't run it all the way down to the ground. And I put metal around the whole coop because the metal and the wood was still solid in the ground because that was just posted in the ground. But I did these because they need to stand on their own, and they stand on their own better with the concrete, I found. I tried the little metal thing that sticks in the concrete, and it didn't work very well for me. I probably didn't let the concrete cure long enough. I'm new with the concrete thing, I'm learning. But this is my reinforcement so far. And the last detail, because I'm sharing my information, is these, I use structural screws to help hold this in to these posts and these beams. And I don't know if you can see on the other side there, I use the horseshoe nails to nail this to the, on the inside, this is nailed to this bracing. So it's not, it don't move very much. Because the dog will test your shit, and they'll test it until they find a weakness. They'll spend hours messing with your stuff if they got the time. And they only do it when I'm not here, so. That is it. That's it. That's the update. That's the walk around. That is how I've spent the majority of this spring with all these updates. I've lost count of how many fruit trees I got. I'm pretty sure it's over it's got to be over. It's over 25 or 30. Then we're gonna string up these tomatoes. These are vine indeterminate tomatoes. I'm gonna put a rope across here, and I forget what they call them when you take the string and wrap the tomato around it. It's got a name. And here's some tomatillos. This is the best I've done with tomatillos ever. I got a few more left, but that's tomatillos and rice is good. There's leftover cabbage. This was a bed. I'm gonna put a few more citrus in here and have another hoop situation here for the winter. And maybe I can get my citrus going like this lemon tree. But I'm not planting no more vegetables in this bed. We just got these two beds and these two beds and the little beds I showed you in the front. This is leftover cabbage, and maybe we'll collect some of this seed. But I haven't tilled these up. I'm planting something in here for the summer. Thank you. But that's it. That's the Hebrew Homestead update. I'm the Hebrew, this the Homestead, and you've been updated. Shalom, everybody.